Should we expect a Chuck start in right field anytime
No,
soon?
you shouldn't, because he had his one opportunity, and I'll be dang if it wasn't a really difficult one. So I didn't say it to the team. I would have said it out there, but I was trying to keep things real short. Coach Anderson always talks about all the baseball he's seen, and all the guys he's coached. Guys who do things right all the time seem to get breaks more than other guys. It's just whatever, Zen, karma, good luck, whatever you want to call it. And, in that situation, the ball drops and Chuck's got a teammate to pick him up, and maybe that's because he's always picking up his teammates, but it actually almost kind of worked out like he made an assist to set up a Sports Center type play. So kudos to Colby Backus, and Hundley's another great kid that deserves every break he gets. So maybe all that mojo right there had something to do with it. But at the end of the day, I don't think we need to see that again.
Brady Robertson, seems like his last couple of outings have been pretty impressive.
Yeah, tonight me and Frank were discussing in the dugout, so we're on the same page with you. It was good. I mean, these kids, they're worried about stat lines and who gets this and that, and it's cool. We had, we've got records and stuff being kept, but what our job is to assess like how it goes down. I mean, a guy might get hit around in the park, but we really like the way he threw, and then another guy might get 3 quick outs, or get 3 outs, but it didn't look right or he didn't execute. So regardless, he threw the ball really well tonight and seems to be picking up some steam after a little bit of inactivity with some soreness, and then also it's his first year of getting college action.
Ariel's double, just what kind of went right from your vantage point in that at bat?
I don't know if I'm only doing it from an observation type standpoint, but his first at bat was tremendous of his career. You could see that buildup of wanting to be a part of college baseball, and then the injury, he just wants to be out there, and he looked so determined in that at bat. And then he hasn't had a bunch of repetitions pile up, but he didn't look like himself for whatever reason. And that last at bat, it looked like he kind of just said the heck with it. I'm gonna get my swing off, and he's got a good swing. I know you guys, people were oohing and ahhing about a play he made in the hole there. So it's obvious he can defend, but he's fully capable offensively as well.
Obviously, baseball is a game where things can change quickly, but the way that your offense is producing right now, is this sort of what you envisioned this offense could be, something like this?
We thought it was a pretty good group. So, I mean, I don't think you jump ahead to where you try and predict numbers or, I remember when I was playing, you'd look at the schedule and you try and predict all kinds of different things or, pretend you know exactly what's going to happen. But I think the depth is something you talk about in the fall and the start of the season, but when the season starts, you're like, I hope we still have 9 guys we're confident. So I think we knew we'd be able to hit. I think we knew we were capable of doing some things, but the thing that's been nice is that depth has kind of stayed there. And if anything, it might be kind of building a little bit with how some of the guys did, either tonight or recently.
How good was it to see Cannon kind of get that run scoring hit to kind of get him going a little bit?
Yeah, I think to relax and play. I think, I haven't said it to him, but I think there's a lot of extra stuff that goes on, not just for him, but for others. If the results don't go the way that you want, you start adding a bunch of things that aren't necessarily there. I don't have a good analogy for it. But, maybe if you're cooking something up and something doesn't taste right, you don't add 5 or 6 different things. But I think these kids kind of tend to do that, and all of a sudden you got a mess on your hands with whatever meal you're trying to cook. So for him and for some others too, it's nice to get a little bit of positive feedback from the game so they can relax and get back to what is just their version of playing ball. And if he just plays ball and eliminates some of the extra stuff, you'll see the guy that you saw at various points in the fall or last year, and quite frankly a few times this spring as well. You'll see that guy, I don't know if emerge is the right word, but just be present and be available to his teammates.
What y'all saw from J.J. Garcia that kind of matched the results that he put out there?
Yeah, I mean, really threw one good slider that kind of caught everybody's eye in the corner, and he's kind of worked to add that to be able to keep balls away from righties. But I thought all the guys did well. They got 2 or 3 guys in that lineup that can really noticeably swing it, not to discredit anybody else. And he had to get through, one of those guys. So to do his job the way he did was good. But again, I think those guys are all hungry to pitch. With Xander being out of the mix, I think there's some guys salivating or understanding that there's innings up for grabs and they want to take advantage of them, whether it be on, a Tuesday or, an opportunity that comes from throwing well on a Tuesday.
makes a good utility man?
I think that the coaches can trust him. Not that he has the athleticism to play a different spot, but you got to have the knowledge too. First base, for instance, yeah, you just got to catch it, but there's a lot of intricacies of that position that you need to also have an understanding of. So just to get repetitions or just to be athletic enough to run around doesn't mean you know how to make an important play or a play that calls for a little bit of baseball knowledge. And I think we can use Chuck there, our buddy Chuck, as an example in right field. I don't know which category he came up short. Maybe his height in that particular situation. But no, I think for the utility thing, it is such a valuable part of college baseball and now Major League Baseball. And I love that Nats quote that they had about Trey Lipscomb. He had yet to make the roster for the big league team, and they were talking about how valuable it is that he knows how to play every position on the field. And a part of that is a great athlete and a great kid, but also he's done it. He's run around at all those spots.
You see those similar traits in Bargo, especially with the mindset and the knowledge of different spots?
Yeah, I think I kind of called him our Ben Zobrist. My family and I were able to see that game where he became the MVP and wins Game 7, that big hit down the third baseline. But also, that was where Major League Baseball, I think, really kind of rubber stamped the fact that if you can be a utility guy, like Zobrist, or I'm sure there's other examples too. Jose Oquendo, if you're from St. Louis, there's a great song on Jose Oquendo on YouTube, by the way. Side note. I think now it's seen as a real positive, whereas in the past it might have been, hey, you got to master one spot. Well, if you're a great third baseman, but you got another good third baseman on your team, you don't want to sit there and watch the game. You want to find a way to be involved somewhere else.
Anything else from Coach Vitello?